American Bowling Congress sign, and we come down to one final game for this year's ABC Bud Light Masters Championship, and Ken Johnson's going to start it off on lane 31. Closing that thumb hole because it feels so good.
Doesn't waste any time.
He had an errant shot the first frame the last game and got it open. This time he has a chance to throw one poorly and still get a spare. Somehow the pressure changes a little bit from that semifinal match to the championship match.
That's what it all comes down to. It's a long, hard week, a lot of games, a lot of heartache, a lot of good things happen, a lot of bad things happen. It comes down to one game all minute. And the title, and all that prestige.
Of course, last year when Doug Kent won it, we went to overtime and had a tremendously exciting final. What will happen this year?
Well, here's our first look at the tournament leader. And folks, you want to see a ball rev up. Keep an eye on this one.
Boy, soft and tentative with that shot, the 3-6-9-10.
Almost casual, almost just walked up and said, well, I'll throw it and see what it does. Here's a good look at the release of Dave D'Entremont. Now watch the rotation he gets, and it's all so effortless. That strong wrist. And Mike, I have to agree, he was very tentative and very soft with that shot. Difficult spare. Yeah.
Well, both players a little apprehensive in the first frame, but both of them get out of it with spares. Need to get those jitters and butterflies out and settle down. You would think that Ken Johnson would have that out of the way right now.
Well, you would think that he would be a little more relaxed after winning his first game, but now he's bowling for the championship, so it comes right back to the pressure, where one mistake could cost you dearly.
Well, that kind of rolled out right at the pocket. It'll be right solid in the 1-3.
All that angle and all that rotation, it's very hard for anything to stand up when that ball hits the 1-3. Look out.
3-6-10. Stares at it in disbelief, but he's got to convert the spare right now. He went high on his fill ball on this lane. Or left a split on his last ball, but it just looks like when the pressure gets greater, his feet get faster.
The ability to throw the ball hard is so important in today's game. The lane conditions and the type of bowling balls that are available, if you can generate ball speed, you have a huge advantage. And I think that's something that you'll see in all 5 of our players today on the telecast have had that advantage of being able to throw the ball hard when necessary. This young man can throw it extremely hard. And I think that's what he's going to have to do is get back to throwing the ball very firm and not be quite so soft with it. There's a little more ball speed.
Well, when he gets it in the 1-3, he hasn't left anything yet except that solid 9 in the 10th frame of the semifinal.
When it didn't matter, yeah.
No.
Well, let's see if the adjustment is the lane or if he made a mental error or just a physical error in that first shot here where he went high.
You know, in practice, I saw him move a couple of 2-8-10s, and I wonder if that on this lane, I wonder if that's in the back of his mind.
Very possible. It's a mind game.
Rolled out at the pocket again, but this time only the 4-pin.
The striking machine. This man can throw strikes forever. Once he gets it going, it just doesn't seem he throws 8 in a row, 9 in a row like most of us throw doubles.
At the 4-pin, throws it straight at it, no turn at all. Well, earlier this week, we had the presentation of the Collegiate College Champions. There he is, Eric Cox. Award is presented by Brunswick and was given to him by Brian Collins from the University of Florida there, Earl.
I watched him bowl. I watched him compete, and he was extremely well. I came down to the last game. He came through in the clutch when he had to. He only won it by a few pins, something like 15 or 20 pins. It was a good match to watch. It was fun to watch.
A lot of room.
There's that rollout. Now there's the advantages of getting all those revolutions and all that angle that you generate by having those revolutions. You can trust the ball, get it way wide out on the lane, and have it roll up to the pocket and stop. The ball actually loses its side momentum and goes straight back through the pins, and that's why you carry that high 4-pin or might even slap the 10 when you might not normally do that. There's an adjustment.
Well, it almost looked like he lost that ball and it still got back to get the right scramble. As his parents look up, boy, do they look. Bill and Inchie, is that how you pronounce her name? Boy, they look uptight. That must be his sister there.
They're not having any fun, I don't think, right now.
Or his girlfriend, okay. It's harder to sit back and watch.
Lost his balance on that shot. Seemed to really not get his knee under him at the foul line, and by doing so didn't get any lift on the ball, and then just kind of squirted off his hand there.
Mom feeling every pin that's standing. The ball speed between these two players is such a contrast, with Johnson throwing so hard, where DeAngemont doesn't seem to be throwing nearly that firm.
Dave DeAngemont does it so effortlessly. He's such a big, strong guy that he doesn't look like he's throwing the ball very hard, but it gets down there pretty quick. If you didn't watch him and just watch the ball, don't watch him throw it and just watch the ball. There's plenty of ball speed there, but he makes it look so easy. He's so strong, and his rotation and timing at the point of release, his timing is just outstanding.
Perfect. It reminds me, you know, such a big man and so smooth and effortless of another big man that won this tournament years ago, Billy Waylu, that was so smooth and effortless.
Very good. That's a very good analogy, Mike. There's no question. Here's a good look at his style. And just look at the rotation. Ball like it has a motor on it. And all 10 gone. It's as good as you can get it. And there's his reaction. And he knew he had released the ball extremely well. He knew he had that one.
I'll tell you, between these two guys, the amount of revs between the two of them, they get more in one frame than I got in a career. So. Ooh, there's somebody pay for it. The 3-6-7-10.
Haven't had many what you might call a bad break on a bad shot today, Mike. Most everybody's gotten away with the bad ones.
Or will he throw straight to try and hit the 3-6-10, or is he going to try and hook it in behind it? What's he going to do?
I think he'll what they've been doing all week, and I see no reason to change. Lane conditions basically the same. He'll throw it hard and straight and try to just slide it across the lane. Use that oil in the middle and throw it pretty hard and straight. Kind of like that. That just stayed out there.
Boy, 6 out. What a costly frame that was.
That's a tremendous mental error there. That's there's no excuse for that. When you do something like that, it's that could cost you the tournament. And he's sitting there feeling very depressed at this point. Ken Johnson has to be thrilled. He's thinking, well, there's my chance to jump on this guy. That's a big break. Oh my.
I'll tell you that they're both showing they're inexperienced here in a sense, you know, that the pressure is so great, and Ken approached to me, let's just get this frame over as fast as I can.
That's how he started the match. The very first frame, he picked up the ball and he was gone almost before we could get a good look at him. He's setting his feet. He's very fast with his feet now, much faster than he was in the previous match. And you get there ahead of the ball, Mike, and as you well know, you're always in trouble when you do that. Great shot there.
He's put himself in tremendous position. And David DeAngemont has just got to be feeling, boy, I've got to take this out the sheet right now.
And he can do it. If anybody can do it, Dave can. He's, you know, I've said several times, capable of striking with the best of them. And he's done it all week. That's why he's the tournament leader.
Big shot coming up right now. He's got to respond to Johnson's double.
He does. The most that Dave can go if he goes off the sheet is 228. So Johnson going at 216 pace now would only need one or two more hits really to lock up the match. But DeAngemont has to put pressure on him to make him think a little bit, not just get up there and freewheel.
Now, is it in the back of Dave's mind right now, those 3 seconds and he's never won, is that sitting back there somewhere?
I don't think so right now, Mike. I think right now he's really just thinking about making good shots at this point. He knows he's behind. He's got to make the good shots. A little more speed there.
Well, just one errant shot. But boy, all those pins he threw away and count. If he'd got 9 out, he'd had 6 more pins.
Big difference. One less strike he would have needed.
Boy, that looked good all the way, and then leaves the 4-pin and gives Mr. d'Anjouman life.
Exactly, and he almost had the 4-9, which is a very difficult spare. I don't know, you feel bad you don't strike, but you also feel relief that you didn't get that split. Can't be careless. Concentrate on your spares. He really goes fast. He's like he just wants to get this over with. He's not wasting any time at all.
Scoreboard tells the whole story. 2 frames to go. d'Anjouman working on a double, trailing by 17. Ken Johnson, foundation 9th frame.
And d'Anjouman, as the leader, had choice of finishing lanes, and he's chosen to let Ken Johnson, through lack of experience, have to finish the match and maybe be in a position to need a strike for the championship. That was the break of his career. I'll tell you what a bad break on the other side of the coin for Dave d'Anjouman. He's thinking, boy, if the ball's hitting the head pin, it's going to be a split. Here's another look at it. Watch the pin action as the pin comes all the way across the lane. Right there. That's the 2-pin. Coming all the way across the lane and took it out. And he just was happy not to get a split. Now he got the strike. Got to respond.
And he did. Boy, can't throw it any better than that. So many times you see a bowler when his opponent gets that good break that affects him mentally, but Dave didn't seem to be that way. 7 pins the difference. d'Anjouman can take the lead in the match with a strike in the first one of the 10. Close that error. Has to hurry. Oh, he did. It leaves the 10-pin.
But it's not over. He has to realize it's not over. He's been unfortunate a few times. He made the big mistake with the split when he threw away the count, which would have put him right there in this match. But he has to make the spare because anything can happen. We've seen it happen before. Ken Johnson, a lot of pressure on him to finish this match with a mark to win it.
Covers it perfectly. In the strike, he finishes with 207.
Sometimes, Mike, it's harder to get a mark than it is to get a strike when you need it. And because you try to be careful, and if you try to be careful, you generally make a mistake.
Especially you got inexperience going up there in that 10th frame. Neither one of these guys has ever won. Boy, same hit, this time the strikes.
All right, here's the shot of his career, of his life, his bowling life. He needs a mark. Spare or a strike.
Such a prestigious time. Going high, but it stopped and tripped that 4-pin.
What a break. Here's a good look at that last shot. This is for the championship. And you remember, he needed a mark to win, and he went through the head pin, the middle of the head pin almost, Mike, and he tripped out the 4-7-10. Unbelievable. What a break. It just hasn't been d'Anjouman's day. He bowled well.
Well, with the bowler that if you blink, you miss his approach because he doesn't take any time, but he sure strikes. Threw the big strike when he needed it.
I wonder if he, now that he's had this kind of success in a major tournament like this, is thinking about rejoining the PBA. What a great match.
There he is, the winner of the ABC Bud Light Masters Championship for 1992. He finished